Okay, Brad, I'm going to ask you to go into a time machine. I'm not going to ask you to go that far back, but I'm going to ask you to go back to your role as a head coach of a golf program. If you've got 10 different, I guess, resumes or golfers that are coming across your desk, and all of them are equal to the most part when it comes to like scoring. They can all play, they're very similar with the number of wins in tournaments, etc. What are you looking for when it comes to maybe the intangibles, or like what were you looking for when it came to choosing who you wanted to invite into your program?
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? That's why you're getting paid the big money to figure that out, and it's hard, and it certainly is not a it's not a science. It's a lot of gut instinct. But what I would look for would be a couple of things. One, if you have a lot that are equal like that, like one, let's make sure we have somebody that we're going to bring in that's going to be a good teammate, right? They're going to be somebody that you want to coach, that their teammates are going to want to hang around with. That they're going to be somebody that can just be a great teammate, because it's a small bus that we're on in golf, and if you have one or two bad eggs, it can be really bad. Football or some of these bigger roster sports, it's maybe a little different. Golf, you're only talking about, well, back in my day, you're talking about, roughly speaking, say 10 to 12 players. With the NCAA restrictions that are on the way, they're going to 9, right? So you've got a small number of people that are actually on that team. So I want a great teammate. We're certainly going to look at the academics, and the reason for that is a couple of things. One, we want a low maintenance player. We don't want a player we got to worry about. Is he going to go to class, or is she going to take these properly prepare for these exams and not do well? And now we're at a tournament and they're worried about failing the chemistry class when we're trying to focus and compete. Right. So good students are not only good because you want good students, obviously, but it helps your golf. Right. It helps your golf to be able to have all of your ducks in a row, per se, so that when you get out the golf course, it's kind of your sanctuary. You can practice, you can focus, you can, whether it's practice or a tournament, you're not worried about a 20-page paper that's due Monday when you get back and you haven't started it. Right. So I really do think being a good student, buttoned up with your academics, and that doesn't mean you have to have the highest GPA, but it means you have to be conscientious, right? You have to care, you have to try, you can't procrastinate. You've got to keep up and with your work. And if you do that, I honestly believe it helps your golf. So we're gonna look at those. And then the third thing, honestly, here's the question I used to always ask myself was, if it was an elite player that you had a chance to get, okay, you felt like, all right, they're pretty proven. They've got a chance to come in, even as big a jump as it is, Ryan, to go from junior golf to college golf at the SEC level where I was. You feel like they've got a chance to do that if they're an elite player, a proven player. But if they're just a little below that, I used to always ask myself, like, what could this person be by the beginning of their sophomore year? Like, what ceiling do they have? What kind of upside do they have? And I would kind of go through that freshman year, just give them a chance to adjust, adapt, whether they play or don't play, red shirt or not red shirt. But by the second year, what could they possibly be? And that's a lot of gut instinct. You're looking at how they play the game. You're looking at their fundamentals. You're looking at their length. You're looking at their some coaches might focus more on accuracy than length, right? It's a gut thing there. You're looking at how they carry themselves, their demeanor. Do they walk with their chin up and their chest out, no matter if they just made 3 bogeys in a row? You're looking at all that kind of stuff, and then you're trying to figure out, like, who is going to be the best out of all those. And quite frankly, it's very difficult to do, but that's what you're paid to do.